Hello there, welcome back to our channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I want to talk about market strategy and particular growth strategy. And the way we are often asked to advise clients is around how do we grow products or how do we grow our products on marketplaces and what's the best strategy. And often I come back to the two main core methods of growing revenue and profits, which is going wide and going deep in terms of products and marketplaces. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of depth about the pros and cons of each, but here are the sorts of considerations that you need to think about when you're looking at growing a brand, depending on where you're starting from and what your product base is. Now, the first I'm going to look at is what we call a deep product range. Let me just go into that to start with. So here would be an example of a deep product range. So they're typically on one marketplace or one country. There might be multiple marketplaces in that country, but they're in one, they're dedicated to one cultural buying experience, one type of demographic, and they're going deep into a product. So they've managed to come up with a product that is well received by customers, and so they're going for variations of it, variations in colour, variations in size, variations in features, but essentially it's all within the same market sphere, and they're just dedicated to doing an absolutely amazing job within that product range. So let me just and this is actually a really good method, and a lot of sellers, private label sellers, do actually use this method. Now, this is a UK based product, Nurofen, very well known brand in the UK for pain relief and sold throughout the UK, but not very well known outside. So if you look at the US, you can see that when I type in the brand name Nurofen, then it knows what it is because it's come up with similar products, but it doesn't recognise the brand name per se. And if you look at this, very deep range of products: pain relief, back pain relief, headache relief, extra strong, mild, etc, express. So a big product range, and that's a really good way of growing a brand. So if I come back to this, now the second one I want to talk about is a wide product range. Now what I mean, what's the difference between going deep and wide here is that deep is where you pick a product niche, like in this case pain relief, and you go deep. Now this is going wide, where you've got a huge variety of different products, like hoodies and shoes and hats and table lamps and all that, that in my opinion is not a good strategy. It's very difficult to build a brand known for a wide range of products. You often see resellers in this market where it's just about making a profit. Not always. There are some really good brands that do well, but they're typically in one marketplace because it's a big marketplace, and they'll just sell a huge variety. It's very difficult finding good examples of this, but one I came across was this one here, and let me just bring this other one across here. So this one here, I mean, not picking on any particular brand, necessarily saying they're doing a good or bad job. I'm just using it as an example. So here, this Cogne, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, they sell a variety of different things, and kitchen funnels, chew products for kids, which don't seem to be related to kitchen funnels. So they're in the kitchen space, they're in the kid space. They're in silicone microwaves. They've got some sliding door child safety, so they're in the homeware or home category. Home and kitchen gadgets. So they're doing lots of different varieties of products. And then when we look at that was the US market. When we look at the UK, even though they've got a couple of entries on here, they're not really doing much sales, and they're doing really, really good sales in the US market. But it's a strategy that is a little bit disjointed, and it's quite difficult to do. So going deep is good. Going wide, in my opinion, is tough to do. So then we start talking about multiple marketplaces. And the first one I want to talk about is multiple marketplaces, but going deep within multiple marketplaces. Now, typically, this brand will have not necessarily a large range of products, but what they've done is they've found a niche or niche within their market, and they really are going to town on it. They are marketing it across as many different marketplaces as possible, and it might only be 2 or 3 products. It might be variations of products, but really doing it really, really well. An example of this that I found was let me just pause the video while I pull it up. Okay, so so this would be, I've got a couple of examples here. So Taylor's of Harrogate, they do tea, and I believe they do coffees as well. Lovely brand. Sells on the the US market, the UK market, Germany, and no doubt a number of others that I haven't checked. They do tea. They do seem to be in different marketplaces. They're still in the very the same niche. So they've specialised in teas and coffees and doing really high quality stuff, and moved around. The other one, which I absolutely love this product personally for use, is duct tape. They've become really well known throughout the world as being sort of like the original high strength repair tapes, and you can see obviously in the UK market, massive great brand appeal and success, UK, and so also the tea. So if you come back here, you see that often brands like this, and this in my opinion is one of the best strategies for a private label seller, is find a set of products that work really well, and then when you're looking at growth, what you can do is take those products and put them on another marketplace. Going from the UK to Germany, apart from the language and some of the other regulatory issues, is actually relatively easy. Going from the US to Canada or to Mexico is relatively easy. Going from Germany to France to Italy to the UK, apart from language issues, is a great way of growing your brand, because you've got a proven market, and as long as the marketplace you're going to has a similar amount of demand and it isn't too competitive, then you can grow it. And Amazon makes it relatively easy to go to other markets and retain your reviews for a while, and all of those kind of things makes it a fantastic strategy. As I say, these types of brands do really well. They know what they do well. And they move it to other, rather than try and going into lots of different areas. They stick to what they do best. Love that strategy. It's a great one. Now the last one is something that we don't always see a huge amount in the private label, although there are some really good private label brands in this marketplace, in this strategy. But this is where you go deep and wide, where you've got multiple marketplaces, you've got lots and lots of products in lots and lots of different categories, so deep on each product and lots of breadth on product, and so these are typically your big brands. So on Amazon, obviously brands like Anchor would fall into this. You know, if you look here, you've got Bosch, huge product that does all sorts of home appliances and power tools and home and garden and automotive. And they're I haven't got a list of them on other marketplaces, but they're on multiple marketplaces all over the place. Difficult to replicate, as it's more of a long-term strategy, but very successful nonetheless. So this is what we tend to look at when we're advising brands, and we start talking about, so the brands I advise, we tend to sort of see, one marketplace, deep productivity success, but that's where sellers have got a very, very fundamental knowledge in a very specific area, whether it's pet supplements or nutrition or food and beverage or something like that. They may stick to that sector and just go really deep, and they're not interested in going to other marketplaces because maybe that product isn't suitable for other marketplaces because it's a cultural thing. Go really deep, make a lot of money that way. Multiple marketplaces, this is my other real favourite, probably my personal favourite, which is you have really successful products and then you replicate that success worldwide. I hope that's helpful, and if you've got any questions or feedback or thoughts for me, then love to hear it. This is Mark from Orange Rocket, and speak to you again soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.